The idea of one person taking another's life is already disturbing. But the thought of a killer walking free, never held accountable, is even harder to comprehend. Sadly, our world has no shortage of such stories. Cases where the motive is unclear, the evidence incomplete, and the truth forever just out of reach. Today, we begin our journey into 10 of the most mysterious, unsolved murders and unexplained deaths. Each one steeped in unanswered questions, each one a chilling reminder of how fragile our lives truly are. From small-town tragedies to bizarre, international puzzles, these cases have haunted families, baffled investigators, and sparked theories that refuse to die. Case 1. The Boys on the Tracks. August 22, 1987. In Saline County, Arkansas, best friends Don Henry and Kevin Ives head out for a night of deer hunting. It's the last time anyone sees them alive. Just after midnight, a northbound train barrels down the tracks. The engineer spots two figures lying side by side, partially covered by a green tarp. He pulls the brakes, but it's too late. The initial ruling is accidental death. Authorities claim the boys fell asleep on the tracks under the influence of marijuana. Their families refuse to believe it. A second autopsy tells a darker story. Don had been stabbed multiple times, Kevin beaten with what appears to be the butt of a rifle. They were already dead before the train arrived. Rumors swirl about the nearby Mina Airport, allegedly tied to drug trafficking and protected by powerful figures. Some whisper the boys saw something they shouldn't have and paid for it with their lives. Key evidence disappears. The tarp covering their bodies? Gone. Questions for the original medical examiner? Never asked. Even with the cause of death later changed to probable homicide, the trail grows cold. And for their families, one belief remains. As long as the people involved still hold power, the truth will never come out. Case 2. The Death of Olivia. Mabel Salina, Texas. 1990. Olivia Mabel lives with her husband Travis and their young son Aiden on a quiet ranch. That peace shatters when 7-year-old Aiden is found drowned in a pond on their property. Grief consumes her. Friends and family drift away. Her marriage collapses. Travis leaves the state, and by late 1991, Olivia is a ghost in her own community. Then, on February 27, 1994, 3 years since anyone last saw her, police respond to a series of silent 911 calls traced to her home. Inside, the once pristine house is in decay, but Aiden's room is untouched, immaculate, as though waiting for him to return. In that room, Olivia sits in a rocking chair, long dead, clutching a crude stick doll dressed in pieces of her son's clothing. Against the wall is a handmade altar covered in letters and drawings, with strange words written in Tibetan and Sanskrit. Some believe she had been practicing occult rituals to summon her son's spirit, and that she may have invited something else instead. One of the letters is dated the very day the 911 calls were made, despite the coroner's belief she had been dead for some time. Who made the calls? No one knows. Was her death the work of grief, something supernatural, or something far more human? To this day, the mystery endures. Case 3. The Beach. Death of Alan Gill Cornwall, England. February 25, 2014. The body of 64-year-old Alan Gill is discovered on Perranporth Beach. He is naked, except for socks and one trainer. Stuffed in his mouth, a sock and a pair of Apple headphones. His body bears multiple unexplained injuries, inside and out. No sign of drowning, no clear cause of death. Nearby, police find a jacket, a wallet with cash, and a photograph of Alan as a toddler. Days earlier, he had purchased ankle weights and a weighted vest, neither of which are ever found. CCTV captures him wandering aimlessly in the hours before his death, speaking to unidentified people who have never come forward. His clothing from that night is missing. His bank cards are gone, never used again. Was he meeting someone? Did he walk into danger willingly? Or did he stumble into something sinister? Without answers, the case remains open, a riddle written in footprints on the sand, washed away by the tide. Case 4. The Disappearance and Death of Kin. Louder. September 27, 2014. Utah. 30-year-old Kin Louder is known as Bright, kind, and reliable, which is why her sudden disappearance shocks everyone. The day before, she makes a series of strange 911 calls. She reports a fight at a wedding. She claims someone is in her apartment. Police respond, but find nothing. The next morning, she calls again, saying intruders are taking things from her home. Her roommate insists it isn't true. On the released call, her voice is tense, uncertain, like she's arguing with someone only she can hear. That evening, cameras capture her walking barefoot in the rain with her dog. It's the last time she's seen alive. Her phone, keys, and car are left behind. Weeks later, her body is found 5 miles away in the Jordan River, submerged in shallow water. The cause of death? Undetermined. Police say there's no sign of foul play. Her family disagrees, convinced she was murdered. Was it mental illness, a hidden threat, or something else entirely? In the end, only Kin knew, and she's not here to tell us. Case 5. The Icebox Murders. Houston, Texas. June 23, 1965. When a worried nephew calls the police to check on his aunt and uncle, officers arrive to find an empty, eerily quiet house. In the kitchen refrigerator, they discover stacks of neatly wrapped meat. At the bottom, through the glass of the vegetable bin, 2 human heads stare back. They belong to Fred and Edwina Rogers. The meat is the rest of their dismembered bodies. Their organs have been flushed down the toilet and found in a nearby sewer. The autopsy reveals Fred was killed with a claw hammer, Edwina shot and beaten. Yet the house has almost no blood. The couple's reclusive 43-year-old son, Charles, is missing. Neighbors barely knew he existed. He communicated with his parents only through notes slipped under his bedroom door. Charles becomes the prime suspect, but he's never found. Some claim he fled to Mexico, aided by CIA contacts, and lived there for years. Others tie him to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. But in the end, it's all speculation. The only certainty is that 2 people died horribly, and the man who might have held the answers vanished into thin air. Case 6. The Hinterkaifeck Murders. Germany. March 1922. On an isolated Bavarian farmstead, the Gruber family lives quietly until strange events begin to unfold. Footsteps are heard in the attic. Newspapers appear that no one bought. The keys to the house vanish. Days later, 6 people, the entire household, are dead. The adults are lured into the barn one by one and killed with a mattock. The children and the maid are murdered inside the house. In the aftermath, it becomes clear the killer stayed for days afterward, feeding the livestock and cooking meals. The farm is snowbound, the tracks in and out giving no clue as to where they came from or where they went. A century later, the case is still studied in police academies, and no one has ever named the killer. Case 7. The Villisca Axe Murders. Iowa, USA. June 1912. The Moore family and 2 young guests go to bed after an evening at church. By morning, all 8 are dead, bludgeoned in their sleep with an axe. Windows are covered with cloth. Mirrors are draped. A plate of uneaten food sits on the table, untouched. The crime scene feels staged, almost ritualistic. Several suspects emerge, including a traveling preacher who confessed, then recanted. Theories abound, from a personal grudge to a serial killer passing through town. More than a century later, the little white house where it happened still stands, and the question still lingers. Who crept in that night, and why? Case 8. The Setagaya Family. Murders, Tokyo, Japan. December 30th, 2000. As the city prepares for New Year's, the Miyazawa family is slaughtered in their home. Parents Mikio and Yasuko, and their 2 children. The killer stays for hours afterward, eating ice cream, using the family computer, and leaving behind their own clothing and DNA. The DNA profile is complete. It's been compared against databases in Japan and around the world. And yet, the identity remains a mystery. The case is one of Japan's most infamous unsolved murders, proof that even with modern science, a ghost can slip through the cracks. Case 9. The Tamam Shud Mystery. Adelaide, Australia. December 1st, 1948. A well-dressed man is found dead on Somerton Beach. No wallet, no ID. In his pocket, a tiny rolled-up slip of paper with the words Tamam Shud, Persian for "it is finished." The phrase is traced to a rare book of poetry. In the book's cover, investigators find a strange code and a phone number belonging to a local woman who claims not to know the man. For decades, the man's identity and cause of death have remained unknown. In recent years, DNA analysis has offered possible names, but still, no conclusive proof. It is a story of mystery written in cipher, and to this day, it refuses to be solved. Case 10. The Yogurt Shop. Murders, Austin, Texas. December 6, 1991. 4 teenage girls, 2 sisters and their friends, are working the night shift at a yogurt shop. Shortly before closing, something goes terribly wrong. The girls are bound, gagged, and shot. The shop is set on fire to destroy evidence. Over the years, arrests are made, confessions are given, and later recanted. DNA tests rule out suspects once thought guilty. Today, the case is still open. The true killers, those who turned an ordinary night into one of Austin's darkest tragedies, have never been found. You've just heard 10 of the most mysterious, unsolved murders and unexplained deaths, cases that continue to send shivers down the spine and raise more questions than answers. Each one a story without an ending, each one a reminder that truth can be stranger and far more terrifying than fiction. If you found yourself gripped by these mysteries, there's so much more waiting for you. Here at Top Facts, we dive deep into chilling crimes, strange disappearances, and the world's most baffling events. We uncover the details, explore the theories, and bring you closer to the truth, even when that truth remains in the shadows. Make sure you hit the like button to let us know you want more. Subscribe to Top Facts and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and never stop searching for the facts.